Two serial killer thrillers. One brilliant detective. A connection that spans years and leaves audiences questioning everything they thought they knew about justice and evil. Today, we're diving deep into the twisted world of Alex Cross through Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider, two films that redefined the psychological thriller genre in the late 90s and early 2000s. What if I told you that the hero of these stories isn't just hunting killers, but fighting a system designed to protect the very monsters he's chasing? Stick around because the truth behind these connected films will shock you. Let's start with Kiss the Girls from 1997, directed by Gary Fleder and based on James Patterson's best-selling novel. The screenplay was adapted by David Klass, bringing Patterson's complex narrative to the big screen with surgical precision. Morgan Freeman takes center stage as Dr. Alex Cross, a forensic psychologist and detective whose niece disappears without a trace. But this isn't your typical missing person case. Cross discovers his niece has become the latest victim of a serial killer known as Casanova, a predator who collects intelligent, accomplished women and keeps them imprisoned in an underground lair. The killer's twisted psychology revolves around the belief that he's preserving these women's beauty and intelligence for his own pleasure. The investigation takes a dramatic turn when Cross teams up with Dr. Kate McTiernan, played by Ashley Judd, in a career-defining performance. McTiernan is unique because she's the only woman to have escaped Casanova's clutches alive. Her medical background and fierce determination make her an invaluable partner to Cross, though their alliance is built on shared trauma and desperation. As Cross and McTiernan dig deeper, they uncover a horrifying truth. Casanova isn't working alone. There's another killer operating on the opposite coast, a murderer called the Gentleman Caller, who targets similar victims but with different methods. The two killers are communicating, comparing notes, and essentially competing in their twisted games. The plot thickens when Cross realizes these aren't random killings, but carefully orchestrated psychological experiments. Both killers are studying their victims, documenting their fears, and feeding off their terror in ways that go beyond simple murder. They're creating a perverted form of art using human suffering as their medium. Cary Elwes delivers a chilling performance as Detective Nick Ruskin, whose involvement in the case becomes increasingly suspicious as the investigation progresses. The film masterfully builds tension around the question of who can be trusted when the hunters might be the hunted. The climax reveals that Ruskin himself is Casanova, using his position within law enforcement to select victims and cover his tracks. This betrayal cuts deep because it exposes how predators can hide within the very systems designed to protect society. Cross must confront not just a killer, but the horrifying realization that evil can wear a badge. 4 years later, Along Came a Spider hit theaters, once again featuring Morgan Freeman as Alex Cross, but with a completely different creative team. Directed by Lee Tamahori and written by Mark Moss, this film explores Cross in a more vulnerable state, dealing with the aftermath of a case gone wrong that resulted in his partner's death. The story begins when Megan Rose Washington, daughter of a prominent senator, is kidnapped from her exclusive private school by Gary Sinise, played with unnerving intensity by Michael Wincott. But this isn't a straightforward ransom situation. Sinise is a meticulous planner who has studied infamous kidnapping cases throughout history, particularly the Lindbergh baby case, and believes he can execute the perfect crime. Cross reluctantly enters the investigation alongside Secret Service agent Jesse Flanagan, portrayed by Monica Potter. Flanagan's character represents the federal side of law enforcement, creating an interesting dynamic with Cross's more psychological approach to criminal profiling. What makes Sinise fascinating as an antagonist is his obsession with fame and historical significance. He doesn't just want money or power. He wants to be remembered as the criminal who outsmarted everyone. This psychological profile drives every decision he makes throughout the film. The investigation takes unexpected turns when the kidnapped girl is found dead, but Cross suspects something deeper is happening. His forensic analysis reveals inconsistencies in the evidence, suggesting that the real crime isn't what it appears to be on the surface. The shocking truth emerges in the third act. Jessie Flanagan orchestrated the entire kidnapping scheme. She used Soneji as a pawn while planning to disappear with the ransom money. The real Megan Rose is still alive, hidden away while everyone believes she's dead. This revelation transforms Flanagan from ally to primary antagonist, forcing Cross to confront another betrayal by someone within law enforcement. Both films connect through more than just the character of Alex Cross. They explore the theme of institutional corruption and how evil can flourish within systems of authority. In Kiss the Girls, a detective uses his badge to hunt victims. In Along Came a Spider, a federal agent exploits her position to commit the perfect crime. These movies established a blueprint for psychological thrillers that prioritized character development and moral complexity over simple good versus evil narratives. They showed audiences that the most dangerous predators aren't always obvious monsters, but often the people we trust most. The Alex Cross character became a cultural touchstone, representing the brilliant investigator who must navigate not just criminal minds, but corrupt institutions. Both films demonstrate how evil adapts and evolves, finding new ways to hide in plain sight. What makes these timeless is their understanding that true horror comes from betrayal by those sworn to protect us.
It's like a spider. And I happen to like spiders.
They remind us that vigilance isn't just about watching for obvious threats, but questioning the very systems we rely on for safety and justice. Morgan Freeman is excellent as the great detective in these films. Although there are two Alex Cross movies starring Morgan Freeman, a film called Alex Cross in 2012 starring Tyler Perry, and a great new series on Amazon Prime called Alex Cross starring Aldous Hodge should not be missed. There are many more books by the amazing author James Patterson, including Double Cross, Roses Are Red, Four Blind Mice, Pop Goes the Weasel, Double Cross, Crossfire, and many more. Hopefully, we'll get more of these books turned into films or included in the new series. If you've read the books and have a favorite, let us know in the comments. If you've read them all, tell us which book, in your opinion, would be good as a new movie. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next movie.